And Richard Southern joins us here today at Queen's Park. And Richard, quite a big day for the opening of the legislature
First day
session.
back from that long Christmas vacation, and yeah, it was busy.
And one of the MPPs here was one that we hadn't seen here since November.
Jim Wilson, it was quite the event when he left in early November. There was an allegation of sexual misconduct. Toronto Star said it allegedly involved maybe a male staffer from the PC party. He sought treatment for alcohol addiction. He left the PC caucus sitting as an independent. It was his first day back. We caught up with him. Have a look.
I don't know what happened to those. There was no investigation that I know of. I was never interviewed or anything like that. So I think once I went to rehab and that, I don't know, but I think the complainant was happy that I undertook every measure I could to get my life back under control and to make amends.
It was a third-party investigation that was done, and I can tell you that as a result of that, to protect those involved, that's all we have to say about that.
So, Christine, he said there was no investigation into the sexual misconduct allegations. We heard there from Minister Todd Smith, who said there was.
Yeah, it's very complicated why Todd Smith wouldn't actually tell us who this third party was that was investigating. He said it was to protect the identity of the people involved, but
he also skirted the question, would you let Mr. Smith back in the PC caucus?
Right.
I actually asked the Liberal leader, John Fraser, will you accept him in the Liberal caucus? And he said, nah, he's, as blue as blue, Tory blue can be.
Well, 28 years, right?
Yeah.
Playing for the same team. It's kind of hard to switch now.
Yeah.
Some real drama inside the legislature today, though. Premier Ford faced off with student protesters.
I think this is maybe the biggest story of the day because we had post-secondary students outside protesting against the OSAP cuts. And look at what they did inside the legislature, and look at Ford's response.
For students from
Stop the clock.
I would ask our visitors.
That's how they train our kids, with a filthy mouth. They should have their mouths washed out with soap. That's what they should have.
Hey, listen, they did have filthy mouths, and they should watch what they're saying in here. They have the right to protest outside on the front lawn. We have the right to debate bills in the legislature.
So, the students apparently were calling the premier some off-color names, Christina, but still for him to react that way, a lot of people, at least on Twitter, from what I'm seeing, they're upset about this. This whole situation about OSAP cuts has really dogged this government, hasn't it?
It has, and it's one of several issues that have actually dogged this government, like sex ed. We know that that's going to be coming back. Right now the government should be going through, or they said that they would be going through the results of their consultations.
And you broke the story, too, that a lot of the early consultations actually favored the liberal sex ed plan.
Well, and that was just a snapshot of the initial responses. But the government says that, between January and February, they've been going through all of the responses, and they should be drafting and testing a new curriculum throughout the spring. So we should be hearing more about that relatively soon.
Yes, and of course, health care, another hot topic here at the legislature
Absolutely.
today. The Ford government apparently approving this sweeping health care bill, or at least parts of it, behind the scenes in cabinet, while at the same time paying consultants to look at the industry.
Yeah, I don't know why you would pay somebody to consult or to look into the issue if you've already made your decision, but apparently that may be what has happened here.
Yeah, it doesn't look good right now for the government. There's talk they might actually present this health care bill this week. We'll have to see. And of course, classroom size continues to be an issue as well, right?
It's a big issue for a lot of families. There's talks about expanding the size of classrooms for not just kindergartens and junior kindergarten classrooms, but also going up to grade 3 and making the classes much larger. Now, presumably, you'd save on teacher costs, but I'm not quite sure what the impact would be on student learning.
Yeah, going forward in this legislative session, I'm told it's going to be a busy one. A lot of legislation is going to be presented. And of course, we got the budget coming out probably within a month, which could contain a lot of cuts, Cynthia.
It could.
Christina.
That's okay.
I'm used to Cynthia being here.
Yeah.
But a lot going on at Queen's Park, and Cynthia and Christina and myself will be here to cover.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Richard.
Thank you.